Hey guys, welcome back to The Fame, your go-to channel for all the latest buzz in the world of celebrity families and reality TV drama. First up, we've got some exciting news from the Duggar family to dive into. Counting on star Jason Duggar has officially popped the question to his girlfriend, Maddie Grace, but the real shocker, it's not just about the engagement. Wait until you hear how the proposal went down and the eyebrow-raising decision Maddie made right after. Are we hearing wedding bells, or is there a little bit of clout chasing going on? We're breaking it all down for you. Next, Jeremy Vuolo is making headlines with some serious shade. The husband of Jinger Duggar recently dropped some pretty bold comments on a podcast, and it seems like he's taking direct aim at his father-in-law, Jim Bob Duggar's strict religious views. Did Jeremy just call the Duggar family's faith devilish? We're getting into what he said and what this could mean for the Duggar family drama. Now, here's a crossover we didn't see coming. A local animal shelter has named their bearded dragons after members of the Duggar family. Yep, you heard that right. Fans are absolutely loving this quirky tribute. And of course, we've got all the hilarious details and fan reactions coming your way. And finally, we're talking about an interesting moment from Jinger and Jeremy Vuolo's latest podcast. The couple took a trip down memory lane, reminiscing about family weddings, but it seems like Jinger may have had a little memory slip. She forgot all about her brother Jeremiah Duggar's wedding to Hannah Wisman. Awkward. Stick around as we dive into Ginger's memory lapse and what might be next for the ever-growing Duggar family. So grab your popcorn and let's get into today's tea. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat from The Fame. So Jason Duggar, one of the Duggar family's younger members, recently shared a sweet video on Instagram, capturing the moment he proposed to Maddie Grace. The clip shows the couple enjoying a romantic beach vacation, though it turns out the vacation had an extra special twist. Jason took this opportunity to propose, much to Maddie's surprise, as she shared her excitement with a heartwarming caption. On 8/24, Jace asked me to marry him, and I could not be more excited. But the surprises didn't end there. For fans of the Duggar family, Jason's proposal didn't exactly follow the family's courtship rules. The couple shared a frontal hug, which is typically a big no-no in the strict Duggar family guidelines during courtship. But it seems those rules are becoming a thing of the past. If you remember, Jana and Steven also broke tradition with similar displays of affection before their wedding. Are the younger Duggar beginning to leave these conservative customs behind? Now, as the engagement news settles in, fans are already speculating about Jason and Maddie's upcoming wedding. While they haven't revealed the exact date, they included the hashtag #Spring2025 in their post, suggesting that the big day will be sometime next year. Fans are eager to know more about the bride-to-be, but Maddie Grace has remained somewhat of a mystery, at least until now. In a surprising twist, Maddie Grace has already changed her last name to Duggar on social media. Before the wedding, this has sparked a lot of buzz, especially on Reddit, where users have accused her of clout chasing. Some commenters believe she's simply trying to cash in on the famous Duggar name. One Redditor wrote, "She probably grabbed that name to avoid someone else taking it, which makes sense. But it does seem a bit soon." Another added, "I recall Jessa and Jinger doing the same thing. It's all about securing that profile name, whether it's for practical reasons or not." Fans are split, with some even jokingly saying, "Gotta get that bag," however. It's important to note that this isn't the first time a Duggar fiancé has made such a move. Several other family members have secured their married names on social media right after getting engaged, likely to avoid having someone else claim them first. While it might seem a bit premature, it's also a way to establish her new identity as part of the famous family. So, what do you think? Is Maddie Grace simply preparing for her future with Jason, or do you think there's more to this name change? And will we see more Duggar stepping away from those strict courtship rules? Next, we're turning the spotlight on Jeremy Vuolo, husband of Jinger Duggar, who recently made some eye-opening comments on a podcast that seemed to take a direct shot at his father-in-law, Jim Bob Duggar's, strict religious beliefs. Did Jeremy just call out the Duggar family's faith as devilish? Let's break down what he said and what this could mean for the Duggar family dynamics moving forward. Jeremy Vuolo, former Counting On star and husband to Jinger Duggar, raised eyebrows with his recent guest appearance on the For the Gospel podcast, hosted by Kosti Hin. During the episode, Jeremy discussed the concept of legalism, a religious ideology that focuses on strict adherence to rules in order to attain salvation, a concept deeply rooted in the teachings that Jim Bob Duggar and his family have followed through the Institute in Basic Life Principles, IBLP. In the podcast, Jeremy made a bold statement, saying, "If you really want to assault the character and nature of God, give your people a list of rules and say, 'Climb this to heaven,' or 'Climb this and he'll still be happy with you.'" One of the fallouts of legalism is it distorts the very character of God, and it's devilish. It's a devilish religion. Although Jeremy did not name Jim Bob specifically, many fans were quick to connect the dots. After all, the Duggar family has long been associated with the IBLP, a religious organization known for its rigid, rule-heavy doctrines, particularly around modesty, courtship, and obedience. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar raised their 19 children under the IBLP's controversial guidelines, which many see as the very legalism that Jeremy seemed to criticize in the podcast. This isn't the first time that a Duggar family member has distanced themselves from the IBLP. Jinger, who married Jeremy in 2016, publicly left the organization in 2017, embarking on what she describes as a new spiritual journey. In her 2023 memoir, Becoming Free Indeed, Jinger opened up about her decision to reject the IBLP's teachings, stating that her faith has evolved. She's been disentangling from the beliefs she grew up with, maintaining her Christian faith but on her own terms. Interestingly, Jinger has shared in past interviews that while her parents adhered to much of the IBLP's teachings, they did push back against certain aspects. For example, Jinger recalled moments where her parents rejected ideas presented by IBLP founder Bill Gothard, hinting that even within the Duggar household, there were disagreements on how strictly the teachings should be followed. And Jinger isn't the only Duggar sibling to break free from the IBLP. Other siblings like Jill Dillard, Joyanna Forsyth, and Jessa Seawald have also publicly distanced themselves from the controversial organization. However, according to Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets producer Bly Faust, some Duggar family members still align with the IBLP, showcasing just how divided the family is over their faith. So, could Jeremy's recent comments further strain the relationship between him and Jim Bob Duggar? It's no secret that the Duggar family has faced challenges in reconciling their faith with more progressive viewpoints held by some of the children, especially as they break away from the strict beliefs they grew up with. With Jeremy's public remarks labeling legalism as devilish, it certainly seems like there's a growing divide. What do you think? Was Jeremy Vuolo's podcast appearance a subtle dig at his father-in-law, Jim Bob Duggar? Or is it part of a broader conversation about faith and freedom? Then we've got a rather unusual crossover that has fans of counting on talking. A local animal shelter has named their bearded dragons after members of the Duggar family. Yes, you heard that right. Fans are having a field day with this quirky tribute to the family, and as always, we've got all the details and fan reactions to dive into. Let's get into it. So, in a bizarre yet amusing twist, a local animal shelter decided to give some of their bearded dragons Duggar family names. And of course, counting on fans couldn't help but react. Reddit users quickly spotted dragons named after Jim Bob, Michelle, and several of their kids, including John David, Joseph, Jedediah, Ginger, Jessa, Josiah, and Joyanna. Even Josh, the most controversial member of the family, found his name attached to one of these reptiles. While this might seem like a fun coincidence, many fans are convinced that it was done on purpose. Reactions have ranged from amused to bewildered, with fans leaving some hilarious comments. One user joked, "Jessa looks pissed," while another said, "Appropriate. That dragon understood the assignment." The humor didn't stop there. Someone even commented, "The thought of someone saying, 'This is my lizard, Michelle,' is just so gosh darn funny to me." It's clear that fans are enjoying the lighthearted connection, though not everyone is on board. One commenter said, "That one lizard deserves a name change. It's honestly pretty messed up for them to do that." Meanwhile, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar have yet to respond to this odd crossover, but given their silence on social media following the end of Counting On and the scandals involving their family, it's unlikely they'll address it. Speaking of which, many fans are still holding out hope for a Duggar return to TV, but it seems increasingly unlikely. TLC has remained silent on the matter, especially after the major fallout from Josh Duggar's arrest in 2021, and with more insiders spilling family secrets, including Jill and Derek's claims about Jim Bob hiding the family's earnings, things aren't looking good for their return to the small screen. So, what do you all think about this wild-bearded dragon crossover? Could this shelter have predicted the fan reactions, or was it all just a funny coincidence? Finally, we're diving into a surprising moment from Jinger Duggar and Jeremy Vuolo's recent podcast episode. The couple, who have been chatting about weddings lately, took a trip down memory lane and discussed Jana Duggar and Stephen Wisman's recent nuptials. But as they reminisced about family weddings, Jinger seemed to have forgotten an important detail: her brother Jeremiah Duggar's wedding to Hannah Wisman, which also took place in Nebraska. Stick around as we break down all the details, including Jinger's unexpected memory lapse and what's next for the Duggar family. Jinger and Jeremy Vuolo recently dedicated part of their podcast to wedding season, and naturally, Jana Duggar's wedding was a hot topic. Jinger gushed about how her sister looked like a Disney princess, and shared fond memories from Jana and Stephen Wisman's wedding day. As she discussed Jana's exciting move to Nebraska to start her new life with Stephen, the conversation took an unexpected turn. While reflecting on weddings and travel, the couple began wondering whether they'd ever been to Nebraska themselves. After some playful back and forth, both Jinger and Jeremy concluded that they hadn't. But here's the kicker: they had been to Nebraska, and not just for any occasion, but for another Duggar wedding. In March 2022, Jinger and Jeremy attended Jeremiah Duggar's wedding to Hannah Wisman, which took place in Nebraska, the same state where Jana is now settling. Yes, Hannah is Stephen Wisman's younger sister, meaning Jinger attended a wedding in Nebraska just last year, but completely forgot about it. Fans were quick to catch the slip-up, with many pointing out how easy it is to lose track of events when you're part of such a large family. Jinger, after all, has been to plenty of family weddings over the years, so one or two slipping her mind isn't too shocking. But for Duggar fans, it was a fun and unexpected moment from the podcast. As Jinger and Jeremy reminisced, they also touched on the excitement surrounding Jana and Stephen's fresh start. Stephen's large family, many of whom live in Nebraska, will no doubt be a great support system for Jana as she navigates married life away from the Duggar big house in Arkansas. But Jinger and Jeremy's wedding discussions didn't stop with the past. They also hinted at more upcoming celebrations. Jason Duggar recently proposed to Maddie Grace Jones, and with their spring wedding on the horizon, Jinger is likely gearing up for another big family event. Having grown up helping to raise her younger siblings, Jinger has a close bond with her brothers, and it's clear she's thrilled to see them enter new stages in their lives. Jinger and Jeremy's playful banter about weddings may have led to a funny memory lapse, but it also reminded fans of the close-knit Duggar family's constant milestones. With Jason Duggar and Maddie Grace's wedding on the horizon and Jana Duggar settling into her new life in Nebraska, there's no shortage of exciting developments for the Duggar clan. As always, we'll keep you updated on the latest news. Thanks for watching The Fame, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video.